So, Kim, your album came out today, Still Believe.
Yes.
Super exciting. So and it's #1 on Christian, which I knew it would go there, but it hit, it hit #3 on all of iTunes. That's really exciting.
That was really exciting. I wasn't really expecting that. I was hoping to do well, of course, but with it being a solo album, I wasn't really sure how it would do. You know, our Jesus Culture albums, they come out and they'll go to #1 for Christian, and you know, they do really well. But with the solo album, it's a little bit different, and I wasn't really sure how it would do. And I was talking about it today. I realized my first solo album that I did, like 5 years ago, we didn't even put it on iTunes when we first released it.
So weird.
So I don't even have anything to compare it to, But
right.
I was really excited.
You've touched on it a little bit before. We've talked before about how it's been 5 years since your last solo album, which was your first, and so people might be like, wow, that's a really big gap. What happened? I mean, you did projects, Jesus Culture stuff in between, but like, what was that 5-year?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to rush the next album. And something that people may not know about me is that I'm not a typical musician, and I don't really play an instrument. I can play like just a tiny bit, on a piano or whatever, enough to maybe write a song. But I'm not really someone who's driven with songwriting. Like, I'm not really interested in songwriting like a lot of my peers. And I honestly have no explanation for that except just say, I don't know, I just haven't been. I love taking other people's songs and getting creative with them, and I love to worship, I love to sing, all of that. But when it comes to actual songwriting, I just haven't had like this huge spark there. And I knew that with whatever my solo album would be next, that I did want to actually have songs on there that I wrote. And I wanted it to carry a message, and the message of my life. I didn't want it to be just another album or just songs I think are good songs. Like, I wanted to give myself the time to really allow God to form that message inside of me, and to really ask God, what is that you want me to do and to declare and to
the message.
See.
Between the two albums, a lot happened to you. You got married.
Yes.
Which is super exciting.
Got married in between the albums. We moved to San Francisco for the first 1.5 years of our marriage, and we moved back to Redding. And I mean, there's a lot of changes, a lot of adjustments, and exciting adventures, lots of traveling. I mean, so many different things. And, you're always growing and always changing, and then you get married and you grow and change more, and
totally.
I always say that there's 2 things that will make you a better person. One is getting married,
and
the other is working in youth ministry. So we're good.
I've done the 2 things.
We're becoming good people. Working in youth ministry and getting married.
Perfect. What are some of the things that you hope, like when people listen, that they're encountering and getting from it? And
the first thing that I pray for and hope for is that people who need healing in their life, whether it's a physical healing or an emotional healing, maybe it's father wounds, whatever it is, my first prayer is that they would encounter Jesus and that they would be healed. And I really do believe that all it takes is just one encounter with God for all of our life to just completely change. And my hope also is that people don't just listen to it and it's great songs or whatever. I always joke and say that, and I say it kind of jokingly, but I'm really serious. At the end of my life, I am going to be so disappointed if what people say about me is, wow, she was such a good singer, or I really loved her voice. I mean, that to me would be the worst thing that could possibly happen. But at the end of my life, what I hope that they're saying is, she loved God and she loved people, and she showed that love. She taught me something about love. Like that's what I hope, and I hope that people get to encounter and to see the God that I know and that I love. The Jesus that is radically pursuing us, the Jesus that is so kind and so good and that so wants the best for the people that he loves.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope they get listening to this album.
That's really good.
For our King is